I guess this can be a decent transition into what the future of the podcast is before I jump into the final topic, the StarCraft one. The future plan for the pod, honestly, I just want to keep inviting cool people. I don't really care what the discipline or what the thing is. I love so many different things in life, and for such a long period of my life, people have told me, "Oh, you need to stick to one thing. You can only do one thing. Like the only way to succeed is to focus on one thing." And I've literally just not given a fuck to any of those comments in the past couple years. I'm doing what I want to do, how I want to do it. If you don't think there's a way for me to succeed in that, that's not on me. I'll find a way. And to know these, I know so many different things about so many different topics. It's actually been amazing for the podcast. I can bring literally any kind of guest because I have so many different things I love. That's why I can bring like comedians, UFC fighters, basketball players, soccer players, video game developers, esports players. It doesn't matter what the topic is. I'm fluent enough in it to have an interesting conversation. I take a lot of time and effort to make sure the podcast is quality. The behind the scenes, what I do is I research every guest. I watch a lot of their content. I make sure that if I'm inviting someone, if they're giving me an hour of their time, I respect that tremendously, and I want to make sure they see that in, first of all, my interest, and then how informed I am about what they are and what they do. So if you're a fan of that person, I want to make sure that when you listen to a podcast, when I do with that person, that you're like, "Oh shit, this guy knew that too." I want to know everything that is within reason in that discipline for someone that's a fan to be excited and to also learn from that. And I hope just to pass on so much information to anyone that's looking for it. And my goal is to just keep pumping out information and from these different fields. From my podcast alone, I'm 25 episodes in. I've had like 20 different disciplines, and from every single one of these people, whether you're interested in the thing or not, you can learn something from it. It's been an educational conversation. You can learn how this guy got to the MMA, how this guy became a fighter. You can learn how this guy became a video game developer or a comedian, or how they took the route. And even if you maybe don't care about that yourself, you'll still find a knowledge in the conversation and it'll be enjoyable. But if you are a person that's looking for the actual specific knowledge, those podcasts are going to be like perfect for you. You're going to fall in love with those. So I want to get more and more people. I'm constantly looking for a few different things. I'm looking for video game developers. There's a lot of guys whose video games I absolutely love, and I would love to get them on the podcast. I've been looking for like Red Alert 1 video game designers. I've been looking for like Warcraft. I've been looking for Heroes Might and Magic. All these random games. I want to talk to the guys and know what the journey was to make these games, the behind the scenes stuff, the things they didn't, wanted, or things they couldn't do, things they want to do but they couldn't do. All this little stuff. Then I want to bring athletes on and learn about their lives and how they got to this, crazy position and all that stuff. There's so much. To me, that is the most beautiful part of the podcast. It's I personally enjoy it. I learn a lot, and then I hope to pass on that information to anyone that might find whether actual value in going the same route or entertainment in listening to these conversations. And to answer the last question, which is kind of related to this, is why don't I want this to be an AOE podcast? My most successful guests are people from the AOE community, so wouldn't it make sense to go AOE? Well, I don't want to go down the same route I did with my FIFA channel, which is super niche, and I know that's how you succeed on YouTube. That's the easiest way to succeed on YouTube, is to find a niche and just make content that curates that niche. What I'm trying to do is infinitely more difficult, to have almost anything, any topic on my channel, and hopefully it still does well. And short term, it's going to suck. Some videos are not going to do well. I'm fully aware of that. I've been in this YouTube game for 5-6 years now, so I know kind of how this works. Short term, some videos are going to tank. Long term, I hope, people will respect that I'm bringing so many different people on, and those videos that kind of tanked at the beginning will eventually get the recognition I feel they deserve. Like, I've had a guy who had 190 million views on YouTube, and he was literally one of the biggest YouTubers on the planet at one point, and his journey of like from the bottom to the top to kind of like the bottom again is so incredible, and I think there's so much value in it. And that video has like 50 views. To me, like that's laughable. I think it's criminally undervalued listen, and anyone that's even in the YouTube space would find that very interesting and super valuable. So I think I have self-belief that I'm producing quality. The only thing that's going to happen is it's going to take time before that quality, I feel, gets recognized, and I'm fully aware of that. If I was doing this for the quick and easy money, I would have done a lot different things for that route. I know this is a massive investment, and I'm enjoying every step of the way, and I'm fully I'm fully okay with those videos not doing well short term, and hopefully long term get to a point where I can literally upload anything. I don't want to be cucked. I don't want to be, tied down to any one discipline, any one job, any one thing. I want to have multiple options. That's the way my life has been for the past couple of years, and that's when I found the most enjoyment, most happiness, most satisfaction, is when I've had the ability to say, hey, I like this, I'm going to do this. Hey, I don't like this, I don't want to do this. This is something that not very many people on this planet can do. So I'm extremely happy with the route I've taken.